What I have here may be one of the best ultra portable business laptops you can get. It's a convertible laptop from HP. It's the HP EliteBook x360 1040 G7, a 14-inch convertible laptop geared towards the business user that not only needs good power, but they need good portability, good endurance in terms of battery life, and boy, the battery life on this is off the charts, and always on connected LTE. This particular unit I have, has optional 4G LTE. We're gonna get into that and more in this review. Hey everybody, it's Andrew, and this is my review of the HP EliteBook x360 1040 G7. Whew. Coming up. Now, while we're looking at the specs, I want to let everyone know, in the interest of transparency and full disclosure, I'm not being paid by HP, I'm not being sponsored by HP. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own, and HP is not getting copy approval. They're seeing this video for the first time, just like you. Now, this review unit was provided by HP, and once this review is done, I'll be sending it back. Now, pricing starts at $1649 US, and price as tested with the review unit, $24.99. Yes, that's not cheap, but you're definitely paying for quality here. And let's not forget, this is a business-focused laptop from HP. I'll put the link below for more information and where you can buy one. Okay, here's what's new. We're looking at smaller display bezels on all four sides. I like that. 6% smaller, 2% lighter than G6 from last year. You're looking at new HP Presence Aware time of flight ability, new AI noise reduction for microphones. We're looking at streamlined keyboard here with HP Shutter, fingerprint reader, and a top power button. We're also looking at the enhancements to the power slider, Intel 10th Gen with V Pro on this one, and we're looking at thermals with 17% thinner fan blades and a new fan algorithm 2.0. And with specs and pricing out of the way, let's find out what you get inside the box. Let's open it up. And I'm really happy to see that HP is moving towards recycled materials when it comes to packaging. That's a step in the right direction when it comes to the environment. Inside the box is a 65-watt USB-C power adapter, and I gotta say, it's pretty compact. I like to see that, especially when you need to do traveling. And of course, they give you the extension cord to go along with that. You get some documentation, warranty information, and some information regarding the mobile broadband. We'll get into that in just a little bit. They also include a USB-A to USB-C cable. You're going to need that to charge the pen. And the pen that HP sent over is actually really nice, uses the Webcam AES technology, has some extra tips, along with a tip remover tool. And holding the unit for the first time, I gotta say, they definitely put the Elite in the EliteBook. This thing is super premium with its all-metal design. It is a rock-solid build. There's no flex on it. This thing is high-end. Now we're looking at a smaller and lighter design than last year's model. Okay, let's check out the port selection. We'll start off on the left side where you get one USB-A 3.1 Gen 1 port. It also has a 3.5mm audio jack, the SIM tray for your nano SIM for the LTE, and the Kensington lock port. Moving over to the right side are two Thunderbolt 3 ports that do data, charge, and display out, an HDMI port, and finally a USB-A 3.1 Gen 1 port. And I have to say, an excellent port selection. The only thing missing, I would say, is a micro SD card reader for storage expansion. And I like the fact that HP makes it easy to get inside this laptop. All you need to do is unscrew the T5 Torx screws, remove the bottom plate, and you're in. As far as RAM is concerned, you can configure this up to 32 gigabytes of LPDDR4 RAM. Now, the maximum is 32 gigabytes, which I like to see. It's not limited to 16, as we see with other ultra portables in this category, so that's pretty good. Now, unfortunately, the RAM is soldered into the motherboard. You won't be able to upgrade that. So for those wanting to upgrade it themselves, that's not an option with this laptop. Now, as far as the SSD is concerned, you can upgrade that yourself, which is always good, and you can configure this up to 2 terabytes of PCIe NVMe M.2 SSD storage. And here's how it did on the Crystal Disk Mark read and write tests. And as you can see, very good reads and writes. It has Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5 working well on both fronts. Now, that Wi-Fi 6 is soldered into the motherboard. You won't be able to upgrade that down the road. And you can get this with optional LTE, and I recommend that for anybody who does any kind of traveling. I understand we're in a pandemic, but once that pandemic is over and we're able to travel again, then I would definitely recommend that because it's great to have always connected LTE when you're on the road. It has 2 fans for cooling. We'll get into thermals and surface temperatures in just a little bit. And it also has the upgraded 78.5 watt-hour battery. And when I tell you that battery life on this has been phenomenal, I'm not kidding. It did a mind-boggling 21 hours and 57 minutes on my continuous web surfing test over Wi-Fi at 150 nits. What does this mean in real-world mixed use? You're going to get all-day battery life and then some. Battery life has been off the charts. Okay, let's talk about the display. What we're looking at here is a full HD resolution that's 1920 by 1080. That's a 16:9 aspect ratio. It's an IPS display, and I gotta say, it's really excellent. It gets very bright at 385 nits, making this a good choice for both indoor and outdoor use. Although it is a glossy display, you will notice some glare or reflections in direct sunlight. Now, the black levels are really good, 0.34, good white points, excellent contrast, and it has a low delta E score of 1.38, making this a very color-accurate display. It also covers the color gamut very well, 94% sRGB, 70% Adobe RGB, 69% of the DCI P3 wide color gamut, and 65% NTSC, making this a good choice for content creators that do Lightroom, Photoshop, and of course, video editing. And as I mentioned, this is a 16:9 aspect ratio. This is great for consuming media. Watching Netflix, Amazon, and YouTube is really optimized for a 16:9 aspect ratio. But of course, I'm liking the 16:10 aspect ratio we've been seeing as of late. Less scrolling when it comes to web browsing and better for productivity work such as spreadsheets and Word documents. But don't get me wrong, this is an excellent display with very vibrant colors and really good coverage of the color gamut. And as you can see here, there are many different display options. I have the low-powered Full HD one that is absolutely gorgeous and gives you phenomenal battery life. But you could also get this with the HP SureView Reflect that gives you the privacy display that can reach up to 1,000 nits. You could also get this with a UHD HDR display, and it also has an OLED variant. So there are a lot of options when it comes to the display. So this is the front-facing camera on the HP EliteBook 1040 x360 G7. This came out late 2020. It's going to be updated to 11th gen processors, I'm pretty sure, but unbelievably great build quality on this. Really elite in terms of the EliteBook line. Now, as far as this webcam, you're looking at a 720p, 30 frames per second webcam. It's an infrared webcam. That means you can log in with face recognition. Now, there's a key on the keyboard that allows you to turn off your webcam, giving you more security and privacy. I'm curious to know what you think. Let me know in the comment section below. What do you think of the sound? What do you think of the visuals? Let me know. And I'm really loving the HP Presence Aware feature. We saw something very similar with the X1 Nano from the ThinkPad line from Lenovo. It logs you in when your presence is detected. It logs you out and locks the computer when you walk away. And it works really well. Now, this being a 2-in-1 convertible means you can put this into the different modes. You can put it into tent mode, great for recipes in the kitchen, consuming media, watching Netflix, Amazon, and YouTube. The same can be said for the stand mode. And of course, you could always put it into the tablet mode. This is great for use with the pen. Now, of course, when you're in tablet mode, it will get a bit heavy when you're using it long term. So I would use it on a desk or a table. Now, unlike the HP Tilt Pen that we saw with the HP Spectre x360, which uses the Microsoft Pen protocol or the N-Trig pen technology that the Surface Pen uses, this uses the Wacom AES technology, and that's actually good for taking notes and sketching at artwork. And I like the fact that you can recharge this with USB-C, and that is great. You don't have to hunt for batteries or anything like that. And it's been great for taking notes, for sketching out artwork, drawing on it. It's been really great. Again, digital artists will really like this Wacom AES technology. I think that pen technology is one of the best. And I like the fact that it does last pretty long on a charge. You don't have to charge it all that often. The convenience factor of having USB-C charging can't be understated as well. And for those wondering, yes, the pen does attach magnetically to the side and the connection is pretty secure. Now, this has the Core i7 with vPro, more specifically the Intel Core i7-10810U. It's a 6-core processor, and I would say it's good for a 10th generation processor, but of course, we're seeing better numbers out of the Tiger Lake with the 11th gen processors we started to see at the end of last year into early 2021. So I expect this to get upgraded to 11th gen processors sometime this year, of course. But with this 10th gen processor with vPro, very respectable performance. For everyday tasks, it worked perfectly well. Microsoft Office, email, web browsing, consuming media, watching Netflix, Amazon, and YouTube. And you could even do some light gaming if you lower the settings. Of course, this is not by any stretch a gaming laptop. And when I ran my Prime 95 stress test, the clock would turbo boost up to about 3.1 gigahertz at 100 degrees Celsius in terms of the core temperature. That would last for about 3 to 5 seconds, and then it would drop down to about 2 gigahertz to 2.1 gigahertz to stabilize at a cooler 76 degrees Celsius. Now, it does have 2 fans for cooling. I didn't notice that the fans would get overly loud, not too obnoxious, so that's good when you're trying to get work done. And when it comes to the keyboard, I think HP hit a home run here. Really nice tactile feedback, good key travel, and it also has a nice backlight allowing you to get work done in a dark room or a dimly lit environment. And it has a really nice touchpad, 2-finger scrolling, buttery smooth. All the Windows 10 gestures work well. It's a precision touchpad, super responsive. They did an excellent job. There are 4 speakers on the EliteBook X360. We're looking at 2 on the bottom and 2 on either side of the keyboard. It's audio by Bang & Olufsen, and I thought the volume was pretty good, mids were good, and it also had a hint of bass. Pretty good for a business-focused laptop. Okay, let's bring it all home. What do I think about the HP EliteBook X360 1040 G7? I absolutely love it, especially if you're a business executive who needs to go on the road even during this pandemic, needs always-on connected LTE, wants an outstanding build quality, wants an outstanding display, and wants phenomenal battery life. This checks all the boxes and then some. It really is phenomenal when it comes to endurance. Now, there are some things I'm not crazy about. The RAM and the wireless LAN are not user upgradable. There's no micro SD card reader. And yes, this is expensive. But of course, this is geared towards businesses, and corporations will not hesitate when it comes to buying this. And of course, they'll get bulk discounts from HP if they're buying in large numbers. But when it's all said and done, this is a super premium, well-built machine that's meant to be taken on the road. And once this pandemic is over, this thing is going to be perfect for the road warrior.
So please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share this video. Don't forget to leave a comment in that comment section below. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if there's a device or something out there you think I should review. I'll do my best to try to make that happen. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, my website, amdtechreviews.com. So until next time, this is Andrew from AMD Tech. See ya.